Yeah, that was like they did a demo of it last year. Showed it. Sorry about it.
Dang, it's been so long. Yeah. Not recognized this.
Well, this is one of the skins for him. This is Roadhog.
Yeah, no, I was like, I don't recognize this.
Let me see those skins.
I don't have any skins.
You don't have no skin?
I don't have many. The hamster, yeah. I have a hamster skin. Where'd it go? Yeah.
It's like Zarya.
Saying you don't have no skin.
So, we recording?
We are recording. We're not live. That's fine.
Okay. So, about a month or two ago, Blizzard released their Workshop, which was their first step towards being able to mod Overwatch. It's somewhat limited. There's no map. You can't create your own maps yet, but you can do a lot of cool stuff on here. So, and it's fairly easy to set up. It's all kind of a visual-based programming, and let me go. So to access the workshop, you go to play and go to the game browser, and you can see things that people have created here. Hero fusion, press crouch to fuse. Yeah, there's all types of weird game matches here.
Wow, gosh. It's like old-fashioned Mario Kart.
So, I'm going to create my own game. I'm going to fill it with a bunch of bots. And I want to change the game type. So you go to settings, and here's where there's presets in terms of like changing the way heroes work, and different things you can do there. But what we want to do is the workshop. So once you get the workshop, you'll get a screen like this, and there's essentially 3 items that you'll work with: rules, conditions, and actions. So when you add a rule, you get something like this. And for every rule, there's an event, conditions, a list of conditions, and a list of actions. The event is essentially when that rule happens, and then the conditions are everything that has to be true for this rule to go into effect, and then the actions are the things that actually happen when it does go into effect. So you can name the rule whatever you want, and for each event, there are several event types. So you can see here, ongoing global, ongoing each player. Ongoing global means that the rule is happening all the time, but there's one instance of it globally. Ongoing player means the rule is happening all the time, but each player has an instance of that rule. And then there's others here. So you can have an event that triggers when a player earns an elimination, when they've dealt the final blow, when they've dealt damage, when they take damage, and when a player dies. So when you choose an event, so if we do ongoing global, it just happens all the time. And then the conditions are things that have to be true. I'm going to use my little cheat sheet here. So a condition will say something like, so it defaults to saying, is the game in progress? Where the main phase of the match is in progress, and then you have a condition, and then what to compare that value to. So you could do like all heroes equal to, or actually, hold on, let me see something that. you can say the altitude of the event player equals or is greater than some number. So something to go into effect when they reach an altitude of 15. I don't know if that's meters or feet. It's just units. Yeah, units. So if you wanted to, like, let's take this. So we'll have the altitude of event player is greater than 15. Actually, let's do something small. Let's do 5. And we're going to add an action. So the action can be, first off, we do have these global variables. So you can set some status. Now, there's only 26 global variables. So that's how many you have to work with. But those variables can be pretty much anything. They can even be arrays. And those arrays can have different types in them. So you can have an array of heroes as well as numbers or something else in there. Let's do start damage over time. So if I do this, start damage over time, or who's the target? The event player. Who is the damage coming from? It can just be null. How long that damage happens. Again, there's a lot of there's a lot of logic we can add here to create something really unique. And I'll just do damage per second 20. So if the player goes above 5 feet off the ground, they start to take damage. And I'm just gonna to test this out. The player value is not allowed in this script. Verify that you're referencing an event player. Oh, okay. I did something wrong here. Oh, and it erased my rule. Thanks.
Wow.
So what I did wrong was that rule was ongoing global. It should have been ongoing each player because my target was the event player. But if there's only one instance of the rule, there is no event player. So it should have been ongoing each player.
Your first rule is still there. It's just blank.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you didn't have a name for it.
So we'll call this take damage probably when jumping.
Probably when they don't probably did.
And so we're going to change this to each player. So, and you can specify, so for each player, I can specify, is it both teams, team 1, team 2, and then for players, I can even specify either it only occurs for a certain hero, or it only occurs for certain slots. Slots 0 through 5. So if you ever played Overwatch, your team consists of 5 characters. Slots 0 through 5 is that slot for a team-based game, and slot 6 through 11 is that slot for a free-for-all game. So it's kind of odd the way they do that. So 6 through 11 is not the other team because then you would just choose team 1, team 2. So you still use the slot stuff. We're going to do every player. All right, let's see if this works. So I think that is good. I don't know how to get rid of this option, but we're going to start and see what happens.
Welcome to Oasis.
I don't remember. I don't remember what I chose.
Select your hero.
And we'll do Farah just to fly.
It's not bots that you're filling the teams with, is it?
This is bots, yeah. I added a bunch of AI.
Kind of sad that it's a way.
Yeah.
But you can't add the AI to an actual game.
Add the AI to an actual game. I think you can fill.
If you want to do some PvE stuff.
Oh, within the scripts? No.
I will protect the innocent.
That
System
is one
check
of the things you
initiated.
can.
Green across the
Spawning,
board.
you
I'm
can't
ready
spawn
for action.
NPCs yet. people have been asking for that.
Привет.
All right, where am I going? So within the little,
Физкульт, привет.
I'm gonna have to wait for. So what should happen is when I jump,
5,
I should take some damage.
3, 2, 1. Round 1.
Yeah, you see. So the reason that is because I did not
Vectora
have.
systems online.
I want to go back to the lobby. The reason that is I had a effect. I had a damage over time that starts when I jump, and the duration of it was 9,999 seconds. So when I hit the ground, I was still taking damage. So let's add a more proper. Let's.
But also, is the altitude, like if you ran up some stairs with your altitude?
It's altitude from the ground at whatever level that is. There's no. It's relative to whatever platform you're on. Yeah. So it's altitude from the ground itself, or from the ground at the point that you're at. So I just want to talk. Let me talk a little bit more about the actions. You can also, there is a loop action. So you can loop under certain conditions, and this just will run the action set over and over and over. So I'm going to add a loop, and now the only thing about loops is it does require what's called a wait action. The wait is essentially because if you run the loop, it will run constantly, basically as the main thread, and so they require you to add a wait. And the wait action is basically saying, okay, wait a little bit for this event, and we'll just 0.25 seconds. The wait behavior. So when you're waiting, if your conditions change, you can interrupt that action to just fail or restart. So if any of the conditions goes false, then we abort at that time. Or if we can restart it if they're true, we're just going to do ignore condition. And then we may just do modify global variable, add 1. So all this does is just every 0.25 seconds it's adding 1 to this global variable. This could be like, I don't know, increasing damage over the course of the game, or some, you can do whatever you want with that variable. So let's create a very simple game type. This is essentially the ground is lava.
Okay.
Which, of course, Farah would be the character that you would definitely want to play.
But you can't go too high. Awesome.
You could add that as well. So, what I'm going to do is let me get rid of these actions. And we're going to create one called Start Burning if on ground. Now, so my conditions are going to be, there is a is on ground for the event player equals true. And then, so if the player's on the ground, we want them to take damage, and we also want to add a burning effect. So we're going to do a set status to the event player. let's see. The assister is specifies the player to be awarded. Oh, the assist credit. So set status to the event player, and this sets the effect, the visual effect. This doesn't have anything to do with the. Well, actually, I don't know if like setting them to hacked would have the effect itself, but I know for the burning effect, it's just the visual effect of it. It doesn't actually do anything. So, yeah. So this is the burning effect that's on the screen, and of course we'll give it just an infinite duration, or pretty much infinite. Now, that sets the effect that the player sees, but that doesn't actually give them any damage. So let's do, again, that start damage over time to the event player for an infinite number of time. And we'll do, let's see, what did they use here? We'll do 30. So, if I'm on the ground, I'll take damage. Now, just like you were saying earlier, like when you're actually in the air, we want to stop that damage immediately. So I'm going to add another rule, and this rule will be stop burning if not on ground. Add a condition here. That same one is on ground, but instead of saying equal to true, you could do not equal. So if you've done any programming, these might make sense, but this is equal to, not equal to, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. We'll just do equal to false. And you can look at, you can see that there's a lot of different options here. You know, all dead players, all living players, allowed heroes, altitude of. Array slices, dot products. So a lot of logic built in. Now there's not, so it's kind of like you can't really add much in terms of your own custom logic. You have to work within the confines of what's available here. But people have done some pretty cool stuff. It's really just familiarizing yourself with all the options that are available and then trying to think of something you can do with it. So we're going to clear our status, and we're going to clear it of the burning status. And then we're going to do a stop damage over time. Stop all damage over time to the event player. So that's it. Now, if you want to save that, you can do the save preset. Sorry, my name here is. Call this the ground is lava. Let's see, create new. Now I think it gives you a code. Oh, share code. So if you wanted to share this game type with somebody else, all you have to do is give them this code, and then they can import it. All right, so let's play again.
Yeah, you change because it's still on base locker, or do you not?
So what?
That's just the screen.
That's just my screen
Oh, the
name.
screen, okay.
Yeah. Oh wait, I have some invalid options. Oh, I think that second rule I did event global probably. Yeah, ongoing goals. That's needs to be ongoing each player.
I think your first one is that too.
Yep. Change that to ongoing each player.
Can you not clear those errors? That bugs me.
Oh wait, it still says invalid game options. Player values not allowed. Wait.
Traveling to prepare your
Of course, I'm gonna pick Sarah again.
Select your hero.
Fly. Yeah.
To enter a bunch of times.
Can you not clear the chat?
I don't know.
Start typing stuff.
CLR.
I will protect the
Are
innocent.
already burning. But we're in the area where you don't take any damage. So as soon as I walk out there,
Attackers incoming. 30 seconds.
Stick to the plan. And if you get into trouble, I'll bail you out.
Does the ceiling count as the rooftop?
yeah, I believe so.
It did say ground.
Oh no, it doesn't.
Well,
But you do fall off the ceilings.
Well, see if you can just land on the same on the roof.
I think these, yeah, still take damage.
maybe it's a lot more.
1. Attackers incoming.
No, they're
Stop
not.
the pain.
Commence combat operation.
So, as Farah, I have a distinct advantage here. Because I can stay in the air. Oh, I went all the way back. Dang it.
Mercy Boxing.
Mercy boxing.
Yeah, it was a game tag called Mercy Boxing.
Yeah, so there's all types of stuff in here. Tower defense. I wonder if we can.
Just view the settings from there,
Let's see. I
or
don't
at least the rules.
save settings. Okay, so let's try this. Let's try to save the settings. Tower defense. And let's see if we can see what those rules look like. Import.
You need the code.
Might need the code. Wait, presets.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, that's cool. Let's go back to the workshop.
Nice.
So they didn't name me their rules. So let's just look to see what they did. It looks like they rearranged them too. So they have a single role, ongoing global. Start forcing spawn room team 1. Pause match time. Wait for 250 seconds, and then respawn all players, all teams.
Are you still in? Are you in the lobby?
I don't think so.
Well, you're seeing the chat. You're seeing the chat.
This is just the there's like a general chat, yeah. So it would have been nice if they had labeled their rules here. So they have here ongoing global equals 1 entity exists, all players team 2 equals true. So if team 2 all players are there, press button, any players team 2 ability 1, wait, disallow button. So they got a lot going on here. Let's play this game. Let's see what, I mean, it's a tower defense game, so maybe let's see what this game actually does. Something I've found is that a lot of the games are still kind of works in progress. So I didn't get to choose a character. Yeah. Yeah, don't have. You can disable abilities. Oh, oh, I can't see damage. Oh, you just gotta run. Oh god. So this is
AI,
I don't have any abilities.
¿Qué tal? Ahorita regreso.
Oh, it's not doing any damage.
You're playing the creeps for the tower minutes.
Oh, is this forever?
Until you get to the headquarters.
No, I'm talking about like the ability. Because it don't last that long, goddamn.
It's not doing that.
Stop.
Cheers, love!
Oh.
The cavalry's here!
So unlocks.
So you cycle through your heroes?
Yeah, so I just gotta get to the end. Of course, the AI doesn't really know what to do.
Oh, it's just fighting.
Yeah, so they're just fighting these guys and dying. I wonder if it has me, if it always has me choose these specific characters and then go invisible. Yeah, some form of invisibility. Of course, their AI doesn't really know what to do either. They're just fighting. So it's kind of easy for me.
You can't program the AI.
No.
From the shadows.
Let's see what it gets next time.
The true enemy of humanity is disorder.
Oh, wait, she has a teleport ability.
No, you actually
What?
Teleporter online.
We move quickly.
Here, fight my turret. So I can see this being a kind of cool game type, and I wonder if you do several rounds, you switch back and forth.
You would want to have like a story ability, like set up something. You could like just pick someone.
They should if you're gonna be a creep, they should disable your attack, so you know that you can't do damage to anybody.
Science will reveal the truth.
I don't even know how to play
I don't
her.
think it's I think
The massacre out here.
I've got you in my sights.
Get into position. Help me.
So let's look at that. We got jailbreak. Oh, I wonder what that's like.
maybe like a lot of people just stay in the try to get out.
So I want to see what, like, I want to see the portal, like, what created the portal. Rule 2, ongoing each player. For Team 2, player Bastion.
Those are the turrets.
Yeah, okay. So for player Bastion, they have a global variable A equal to 1, which is probably like a trigger. If they have spawned, they use ability 1, disallow button, event player ability 1.
It's basically removing the attack or what?
I think once you activate the ability, your
I don't think you activate the ability. The rule activates the ability.
One has fun. Well, you still have to press the button for ability 1.
Bastion's ability 1.
He turns her into a turret.
So then it'll
Really
lock
high
on the
damage turret. That's what I think. Well, so disallow. Maybe it's you can only turn to the turret once because it disallows the button after that.
Yeah, because then you're going to be stuck defending that position from the.
Oh, I see. So it forces the second team into a bastion.
Wait 250 seconds, ignore condition, then disallow.
So after
button.
250 seconds, you're going to be locked in.
Yeah, because you stay in that until you hit the button again to transform back into your mobile self. But you can't. So once it's like you place a tower there, and he stays there. Yeah. Let's see, rule 3.
Your code, kids.
Right. Name your rules.
So yeah, so this just sets team 1 to true, and then sets a global variable to that
That's
global
the
variable
condition.
1. The condition. If you're on team 1, sets global variable a to 1. If global variable a equals 1.
Then it sets you to Sombra.
Okay, yeah. So what this is doing, L is an array, and it's adding all the heroes that you have to cycle through. And there are a lot. Oh wow, you gotta go through all of them. Jeez. So I wonder what the win condition is. So that was rule 5. Rule 6. The distance between the event player and a specific location. I think that's the portal. Yeah.
It's less than or equal to 5.
Yeah, so once you get close enough to it, there's a weight and it respawns you. It adds another weight. Modify the player variable. I think this basically changes them to the next hero. If you're the, I think Roadhog is the last one.
Yeah,
so
it was.
yeah, small message.
All players, all teams.
Yeah, event player, hero icon, big message. Someone wins. It's a win condition. Looks like play effect, buff explosion sound.
So if somebody gets to the end as Roadhog,
Yeah, that causes this to win. And then they use these skip ifs. So I like how this is kind of like they're adding some kind of condition here. So just do all these actions, but skip some of these if they're not if they're at the very end. Oh, and the skip. Okay.
Skip everything or just that one?
Every other one, so
Everything after that.
whatever comes after this condition.
Yeah. All right, so let's look at rule 7. Hero of event player does not equal the value in array global event player of L. So this is comparing your hero and the hero that's in the array. Start forcing player to be a hero, a certain hero. Value in this global variable L, which is the list of all the heroes. And so this is saying we want to force the player to be a hero, and the hero we want is a value in this array, which is a global variable L, and the index is will be this value D, which will be a player variable. Yeah, so each player will have their own index as they cycle through to the very end. But it sounds like only one player has to get all the way to Roadhog. Rule 8, no conditions. Ongoing global, create effect. Oh, that creates that ring.
Creates the,
Yep.
the visual effects.
Rule 9. So if you're on team 1, you don't deal any damage.
Wait, what? Oh.
That because you're the creeps. So you gotta go through it.
And you probably could add a rule where you couldn't shoot at all.
Yeah, I believe there should be something like that.
Now would that stop your abilities from going off as well?
No, because those are separate. There's a here, let's just add a rule. I just want to look and see what the actions. Disallow, disable, built-in game mode, disable, disallow button. Event, yeah, disallow primary fire, secondary fire ability 1. So that's strange because this seems like a pretty easy thing to do. Just disallow the primary fire for the creep team. So, but it's cool because you can import other people's game types and modify them yourself, which is probably the best way to go about this. One of the things always when like doing game development is like you see somebody's game and you're like, man, if I just had the source code to that, I could do something really cool with it. So this you can kind of do that because you can get somebody's game type and import it essentially. So let's look at. I just want to see what other. Let's see what else they had. What was that jailbreak? G Baby Jail Edition. All right.
Wow, Blizzard word. Oh,
let's.
That's math. Oh, I thought it was like the use or something.
We're going to. Let's see if we can spectate this and see how this works.
Traveling to Horizon Luna Colony.
So we gotta find where people are.
Oh, you didn't know like this math before?
No, I've never seen it.
I'm guessing one of the starting areas is.
Fight.
Oh, there's somebody there.
Helden sterben nicht.
Let's follow this person around.
Helden sterben nicht. Helden sterben nicht. Helden sterben nicht.
Wow, they
I actually haven't done spectate before, so I'm not really sure.
You should really get that looked at.
Oh wait, there's 3
Sag das
mercies.
Orders. Your guardian angel.
Somebody's like, well, this is kind of boring.
Helden sterben nicht.
Yeah. That's kind of what.
saying it. This sucks.
That is.
Nah, bro.
That is one of the problems with, there's not, sometimes there's not really much rule, like, they don't really tell you how to do something.
You should do that. Just at the start of the match, have a message pop up that tells
Yeah.
you what you're supposed to be doing.
Oh, so there's a specific set of keys that you need to get in the right order, then it will swap you to Mercy.
What?
It's only 4 keys.
What?
How are you supposed to know that?
Yeah. Jealous.
Oh man.
Let's go.
Nah, bro. This sucks.
Jailbreak hero merging. That sounds strange.
Let's try. I want to see the hero pose.
Third person.
That's also one way to do it. I guess put it in your game name. What you're supposed to do.
I think I've played this one before. Press F to upgrade. Infection. That sounds interesting.
That sounds like zombies.
Yeah. Overwatch Smash Brothers 3D. Let's spectate this one.
You can actually play.
Oh, they haven't started yet. Okay. I don't want to join. Murder mystery. I see a lot of like old school game types trying to make here. Genji parkour collect 18 sparkles to change hero.
Solaris daycare. Shield, kill.
Solaris daycare. Okay. Rising lava. That sounds interesting. Let's spectate that one.
Arriving at Shadow Luna.
Oh wow. So I wonder if... Oh, he's trying to knock people off, it looks like. Yeah.
Happy birthday!
It doesn't look like they do any damage to each other.
Have a nice day! Tick tock,
Let's
tick
see what
tock,
these
tick
guys are
tock!
here doing.
Dipstick!
They're just all chilling on top of this.
Oh, someone died. Help me, monkey. Sea leather?
Sorry, May. Oh no.
Oh.
May, no. Oh, nice. Oh.
Oh, man!
Oh, she's gone.
Super fan thing.
Yeah, so I got Winston and...
The only 4 players alive.
Yeah, this looks like a free-for-all. Well, they're both about to experience a lot of pain here. Here it comes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how is your pain? Super.
No, I do not want a banana.
Why does it sound like a boss?
Super.
Helden sterben nicht.
Oh, he's fine.
He's looking for a place to jump
Helden
to.
sterben nicht.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, you got a little sliver over here. You can't really land on any of these top ones though. Oh, yeah, there you go.
You don't take damage till you actually hit the ground.
So there's a lot of cool game types here, and you can see there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of different things you can do. Weeping Angels, Infection, Rising Lava. I like that Rising Lava one. Rock climbing. Agario, Roadhog Hook. What? How did?
I guess you use the road hook to eat other players.
Eat other players. I wonder if you get.
Maybe grow bigger.
So there's one. Looks like they need one player here, so I'm gonna join now.
Traveling to Volskaya Industries.
I didn't think so.
Traveling
I don't
to
think you can increase the
Volskaya
player
Industries.
size.
Enemy needs 3 kills.
Oh! That was quick.
60 seconds.
Oh god, I'm really bad at this. Wait. Oh, so if you touch the shield. Huh.
This increases their shield.
Gotcha.
Play of the game.
Just walk around. So how-
It's awesome when you got like the biggest shield in the game.
Yeah,
Face.
that's a little crazy. It's a lot quicker pace than most Terraria games. What is that? Real life GTA skin contest, murder mystery. There's one that was really fun. I guess I don't remember what it was called. I think it was this dogfight. No. But basically, it was a bunch of flying bastions, and you just go around shooting each other.
So you can't actually search game types. You can only search what people are actually playing.
Yeah, it looks like you searched the name of the game itself. Yeah, Tower Escape, PvE Tower Defense. But I do like how you can save their settings.
Yeah.
And then improve off of them. Tower Defense 75 waves. But yeah, that's the workshop, and hopefully maybe they'll add some more capabilities on top of it. I know a lot of people have been asking for being able to import custom maps.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be awesome. Yeah, I don't know. It's because I can see for some, a lot of these game types, the maps they have aren't really, conducive to it. But I don't know. Maybe they'll add their own maps to.
Yeah. Do they have like the Lucio Ball map?
Lucio Ball map. I don't know that map.
Soccer map?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if you can specify
Specific
maps.
maps?
Yeah, right there, maps.
Let's see, maps. I don't think so.
This is all the type of game that you want to select the
Yeah, basically.
get different maps for different types.
I don't think you can force a map on here. Yeah. Start forcing spawner, throttle. Yeah. But there's people have been doing all types of weird, crazy stuff.
Is there like a roadmap for future add-ons?
Not yet, no. I think this is something that they just kind of they were using this already, and somebody in the dev team was like, "Hey, why don't we just let players check it out?" So I think they're kind of gauging interest to see what effect this has on getting people back into the game. Maybe if they see a lot of people playing it, they'll probably definitely add more onto it.
Has anybody made a battle royale mode yet?
No. Well, see, you can't.
Well, there is always battle royale mode.
You can't add more than the.
It'd still be the 12 players.
Yeah, it'd still be the 12 players.
I'm just talking about like a shrinking.
That seems like it would be really easy to do too. Let's see if there's
they don't got a game mode like that, so.
Let's see if there's a second VR.
At a minimum, you could name your game battle royale.
Battle. Pokemon battle.
Ooh, I want to see that.
Boss battles. 2v6, 1v6. Infinity Stones boss battle.
I think they'll look just little kids just making up stuff.
So I don't see. Let's type in Royale. No. Fortnite, yeah. No.
Fortnite?
I would say, that would be pretty easy. I guess the only thing is you'd want to maybe give people more life so that they can kind of escape and try to hide somewhere.
That's where manipulating character size would be extremely useful.
Yeah. Or like if you're standing still, you're invisible, but when you move around, you become visible again.
Yeah, kind of stretch the game out.
Yeah, something to stretch it out. What Hero Gauntlet is. Oh, so they do have a description here. Let's see if the other ones had a description.
There's the one.
Hit the eye there.
Reach 10 checkpoints for next hero. Crouch must attack to change spawn. Use cheat code to save your hero progress over multiple games. Interesting. Let me go to Discord. So yeah, there's really PvE RPG
There's a
grind.
die there. Will that just bring up? Oh, that's just.
Welcome, Lizard. Well,
I'm not gonna say that there is information.
You know, one tank.
Oh,
I'll be watching over.
you know how to play Mercy.
Oh wow.
What is this? What?
Is this Power Raid?
Oh god.
Oh no! No, I don't know how to play
This
Mercy.
is level up.
Kill somebody, you get experience.
You have 4 HP.
Yeah.
Dang.
You should be able to keep performance level. Can't stop now. My ultimate charge. Damage increase. Let me get you
Oh, I've
patched
been
up.
doing the wrong one.
That's probably the one to do because definitely.
Oh yeah, hit L like close.
Behind you.
Oh, I got shot from behind.
You got ability points too. I don't know what that's for.
Level 4.
But yeah, ability points. Maybe if you get abilities.
Are you level 4 and everyone else is level 32?
Yeah.
Are your levels persistent?
Oh, okay.
Oh, upgrade life. Current level, price 10 ability points. Current level.
You need to upgrade healing.
How many ability points I have? It doesn't tell me what to.
16 up at the top there. 16. So how do you use it?
Oh, there we go.
What?
It was F.
There's still.
I gotta say that levels gotta be persistent.
Yeah, it's not like
I'm taking care of it. Reality bends to my will.
Oh, look how little healing I do. Every kill gives me a level. I can't heal that much. Yeah, look at how little I'm healing.
Get in there, Bob. You needed a doctor.
This is kind of cool. I like this.
Огонь по готовности!
Wait, you know you can fight enemies, right?
Yeah, with the ship.
That's how he died.
Yeah.
You should be at peak performance levels.
Oh god.
Heroes never die.
I wonder if the enemies are NPC guys.
Like, the game ends, that's why I was like,
I don't-
Healing stream engaged.
Well, this one's got 32 minutes on it. Yeah. Oh wow. Oh wow.
You needed a doctor?
Alright. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do. And I like how you can grab people's games and change them. Let's actually grab that. What was that? It was RPG. Hold F.
L to
Was that it? No.
Oh, wait. I mean, it might be PvE, RPG.
Oh, this one. RPG grind.
So the
Yeah, it was at
enemies-
Blizzard World.
The enemies were not players. So
1 to 6 players must defeat regular enemies, champions, and bosses during XP. Okay, so
They
let's.
had to have been players because you can't put in AI. Yeah.
Let's see.
So yeah, it is 90 minutes.
Alright, let's do create. Settings. Well, I think here. Can't you add the AI through here?
This is just in, but those aren't in the live games though.
So, well, this creates a game, and I think you can basically say Team 2 is bots.
Right, but you couldn't play this online.
Okay. Let's see. Let's go to, where is it? Settings, presets. Whoa. PV grind. Lots and lots and lots. Oh wow. A lot of rules. Yeah, at least they got some labeling here. Rule 76.
Whoa, what's that?
Player dealt damage.
Oh, nothing.
There's nothing.
Someone
Okay.
accidentally added it.
They might have added it to keep track of how many they
Levels array. Each player basically tracking their level.
Team
Yeah, team,
Team
1 I think is the
2.
boss. Would be the bosses.
So let's look at boss respawn. Oh, it's ongoing global. Set that sets a variable for boss to spawn in. Buy upgrades. So, wow, this person really worked a lot on this. Town portal inactivity. I guess it's a kick if you're inactive. Destroy in-world text, set player variable, wait. Okay, I don't know what that does. Oh wait, teleports event player to a certain location. Level up, XP earned, hero switch. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff here. Stealth.
So what's the AI jump?
For team 1, value and array player variable each event player G. That's the thing with those.
Holy cow! He programmed his own AI.
Is on the ground true. Value and array player event below a 16 match time is true for any players within radius position of event player. Compare component of position. Apply impulse. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it jumps.
Interesting. So the yeah, so it's basically they jump around to avoid being shot at. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. But this is cool because you could, if you took the time to actually, read all these, and I think a lot of these you can probably, one-off modify. It would be nice if they allowed kind of group the rules together. So you could have all the rules that pertain to your upgrades and shops, all the rules that pertain to the AI, all the rules, so kind of group them together. That might help out a lot.
I think that's what we were trying to start to do with LS. I mean, trying to take and maybe.
Oh
get a
yeah,
little bit
LS.
Organize a bit.
Yeah.
Number of players 7. Boss
Like everything
con.
with bosses, boss on.
Yeah.
He was trying to do just naming convention.
Boss visual is probably the thing or the thing around him. So these are some pretty. You can see that it can get pretty complicated. Play effect, player variable, player in slot, type, good pickup effect, color red, position, add, Position of player in slot. But they do have some good tooltips here. So, like if you hover over this, it'll tell you, you know, what it does, direction from angles. I know for most of us that come from a programmer background, we tend not to like this whole kind of rule-driven scripting, but I think it's a good way for, especially if you don't do programming, it's a good way to kind of learn the logic involved with programming.
I mean, that's more like Blueprint, right?
Sort of.
The game engine we use for our class right now is Construct, and it's almost exactly like that.
Oh, these kind of like you create like rules.
You have events and actions. So
Yeah.
one side it has events, and you can have conditionals.
Yeah, this reminds me kind of even if you play Dragon Age, where you can set the rules for each of your AI. You can add a rule. Of course, this is much more complex. With the blueprints, I guess the blueprints are a little bit different though, because it's more of you have blocks and you're tying them together, their inputs and outputs. But I've seen some pretty complicated blueprints. So once you get to a level of where you have lots and lots of rules or lots and lots of blueprint blocks, then you kind of want some organization, which I'm sure Blueprints probably has that. They probably have it where you can like have sub-modules, most likely. But I haven't done much of Blueprints. That'd probably be a good workshop to do one time, is Unreal Blueprints. If somebody's willing to learn.
Learn Unreal.
If you're willing to learn them, man, well, you're free to do a presentation.
Oh, God. Yeah, when we do a presentation? Oh, God.
Have you messed with Game Maker?
I have not.
It's similar.
Similar?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I messed with Game Maker 1, not Game Maker 2. But, like, I don't want to do making Game
This is Game Maker 3.
So the Unity game engine doesn't have any, like, visual node-based programming built in, but there's a lot of assets that are...
They are working on one.
Yeah, I'm sure they're working on it, yeah.
With the dot stuff.
Okay. And there's stuff like Playmaker and...
Node Canvas.
Yeah, there's
Bolt is the
assets
way
that'll do it.
They're pushing now.
Bolt? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've never really gotten into the node-based programming, but honestly, I should have, especially with the procedural generation, because it just makes things a lot easier to feed, noise into other noise and add together and do certain operations on it. Does anybody have any questions? Because you probably saw just as much as I know about this.
Are we playing?
Because if you go to...
yeah, where's the documentation?
There is not much of it. Let's see, where is Chrome on this machine? This is the official MJD machine. It now has Overwatch on it. But I'm probably going to delete it off of this thing. Huh?
Is that the Omen?
Is this the what? Yeah, this is the Omen. I'm planning on using it probably for the VR workshop, just because I need one more machine.
When is that?
The end of this month. What is? Okay. I was actually gonna think. I was gonna see if anybody wanted to help out with it. They are paying us, or paying the instructor.
I was not paying attention.
We're doing a VR work. Actually, I'm doing a VR workshop at the end of June, and I think if you're a student, there's a discount. It's through FIT.
Is it like a week-long thing?
It's 2 days. I want to say it's Thursday and Friday. I've actually got to take 2 vacation days to do it.
What time?
8 to 5.
8 to 5.
I mean, it's an intensive training.
Daytime, 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Ah,
5 p.m.
gosh, dude.
Yeah.
Like right
No,
now.
it's like they're for corporate, like the cost of it's like $400, $500
What?
for non-students.
Nonsense.
For students, I think it's like $50 or something like that.
Like, cause I don't go here actually, so
Do you go to another school?
I used to go. I'm
Oh.
actually graduated, so
I don't know. Like I don't know what they're doing in terms of the pricing. But if you go to Overwatch Workshop, there's their blog entry. That is the documentation. Right here. This is the documentation. Introducing the workshop. You got table of contents. I mean, it's easy to read.
Yeah.
They don't really go. It's really just a overview, but they go into a lot. I mean, they go into all the basics. You know, even how to do a string, how to set the variables. They go through 2 examples. One of them I showed you was the molten floor. The other one is deathmatch, mirrored deathmatch. So that one, everyone plays the same character, and it goes through a cycle of characters, and whoever gets the most kills at the end of the round wins. There's also a debugger, but I have not used it. So you can actually debug this within a game.
Oh, like while it's running?
Yeah, while it's running. And then we looked at the other stuff like sharing a script and opening a script. So that's the documentation right there. That is it.
Mess with the UI.
Huh?
How much can you mess with the UI? Like, it seemed like they had a HUD.
Yeah, you can do a lot of HUD text. I don't think you can you can't change where your abilities are or hide things.
So you can like rearrange stuff or anything like that?
No, I don't think you can do much in terms of rearranging. It's really just displaying text. But I think you can do like, because you saw some of the text had like borders and stuff like that on them off to the side. But for the HUD that's already there, there's not too much you can do. But yeah, that's it. Woo. I need to. My wife just